Hey, tburrier from tburrier.com. Today we're going to talk briefly about 3 ways to increase your opportunities with people and in the marketplace. And first I want to start really briefly with an overview of the parable of the talents, because it's so exemplary of how you build your credibility. Your credibility dictates everything. I mean, and I'll show you this visually in a second, but it dictates all your opportunities with people or with organizations. With the parable of talents, and to kind of boil it down, right, is the wealthy landowner was going away on a trip, and he took three of his let's call it constituents, and gave one of them, a bunch of money, another a little bit less money, and another a little bit of money, right? And said, take care of this while I'm gone, and I'll be back in a month or whatever. And so when the landowner came back, the first person who he had given a lot of money to had doubled his money, taken it to the marketplace and doubled it. It's like, well done, and my good and faithful servant. And then he, trusted him to do greater things. The second one had also doubled his money, even though he had less to work with. And same reaction, fabulous, greater opportunities for this person. And the third was fearful of the landowner and said, I was worried that, that I make sure I want to take care of your money, and I buried it, or I covered it up, put it under my bed, whatever. And the landowner was furious. You mean you didn't even bother to put it in a bank so I could get a little interest from it? Instead, you just said, get out of here. Essentially took away his opportunities because he had failed miserably with what he had entrusted him with. Lots of people don't like that part of this story. I think it was unfair. Hey, life isn't fair. Life just is, right? But the reality is, what that represented is the way credibility works. So there was probably a reason that the landowner trusted the first person with the most. That person had demonstrated a high level of credibility at some point, right? So here's how it works. Credibility, right? Credibility dictates your opportunities, right? So your opportunities, whatever that is, right? So whatever someone perceives. Now, credibility is a perception. Nobody can know if you're actually what they perceive, right? And it's based on people's perception or trust of your character as well as your competence in a given area. And so when you have credibility, you have some level of measure of credibility with someone, and then someone will give you an opportunity commensurate with what they believe that is. And all you have to do is think about this. If you have children, that's how you operate. When you're a boss and you have people that you're trying to delegate to and grow, that's how you look at it, right? Are they ready for this level or not, right? And you hold the responsibility ultimately for what happens. So you're not going to give them too much if you don't believe they can. And so what happens then is you provide an opportunity for someone based on how you see that credibility, right? And then they take action, right? And then that action leads to a level of result, right? And that level of result either affirms the credibility, right, or not, right? In the case of the third person, it didn't affirm the credibility, and they were out. In the case of the people who doubled the money, right, or did something with it, what it did was grow the credibility. They will be trusted with something greater now. This is the beautiful thing about credibility. If all you do is meet the expectation, and I'm not a big fan of meeting expectation, I believe in over-delivering. Under-promise, over-deliver. That's always worked really well as a formula for me and for the people that I personally have worked with. But you want to look at it from the perspective of, if you just meet the level of credibility, you will then be trusted with more, right? Because then people will be thinking, okay, so they did it. They accomplished this. I trusted them with this, and they did this. So now I'm going to try them a little higher. That's how it works, right? So 3 things. There's tons of things here, tons, right? I mean, this is part of what I teach when I'm training and coaching is all the meat underneath of this. But 3 really, really simple things that you can do to work on this, right? Very, very simple. 1, leave it better than you found it. Whatever it is, leave it better than you found it, right? So people that you spend time with, when you leave, You want them to be going, I want more. I want more of that person, right? That means, so what does that mean? Does that mean you spend time with people and show them how great you are? Nope. Just the opposite. When you are with people, you invest in them, you listen to them, you have empathy with them, you offer whatever they need, whatever helps them, right? You focus on helping people be better than they were when you came. And even sometimes that's just a listening ear, but that's one simple thing. And then things, right? If whatever it is, right? Whatever you use or do, you leave it better, right? You borrow someone's car, you take it back clean, right? Full of gas. Whatever it is, you leave it better than you found it. Number two, always do what you say. I personally, I don't make it much of a habit of actually saying I'm going to do something. I just do stuff. But if you're going to say you're going to do something, man, you better do it. And if you espouse that you do things, you better be doing those, right? So do what you say you're going to do. And man, it doesn't matter what it is, right? If you made a commitment that you realize over time, oh, I shouldn't have done that, you got to swallow it and do it, right? Because it affects your credibility. And this is something you cannot afford to lose. And then the third thing is grow yourself. Work on growing yourself and do it the three circles way. That will build you a life beyond anything you can imagine where you are right now if you're struggling. When you start with the fact that you are inherent in everything you do and you work to become the best you possible because that's what you want to be, not anybody else. You're not supposed to be anybody else. You take care of yourself physically, you take care of yourself emotionally, spiritually, developmentally, you grow your skills and become the best version of you possible. And then you invest in other people, you invest in your relationships so that they thrive. That spills into everything that you do, and you are seen as a person that people want to do business with. So those three things are how you grow your credibility, which grows your opportunities. There's more, but those three are pretty simple, and you can do that. If you have any questions, shoot me a message. If you want to talk about coaching, send me an email or visit my blog. There's all kinds of great content there. If you're struggling right now with something you're trying to accomplish, and maybe you have some resistance, there's a terrific audio there, overcoming your 4 obstacles, your 4 barriers to success. That'll help you a lot. Have a great day.